Now, earlier this week, popular ICO investor Ian Balina got his portfolio hacked while he was doing a live stream of his daily video. The hackers made off with over $2 million of his tokens. Doing some deeper investigation, we found out that what actually happened was that they hacked into and reset one of his college emails. And once they'd done that, it sparked off a series of events which allowed them to get access to his laptop and then his Evernote where he stored his private keys. With me to talk more about this is Crypto Bobby. Bobby, this Ian Balina hack, what do you make of it?
I think it goes to show the need for a concentration on personal security in the crypto world. I think especially if for public figures and somebody like Ian, who kind of marketed himself in a lot of ways by posting his portfolio publicly online and talking about that, personal security is a huge thing, and you really have to take that seriously, especially if you have if you have multiple millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, you need to take it seriously.
Let's look at some of the tokens that were taken out of this portfolio. I valued them at over $2.5 million. I've got a list over here. We've got Nucleus Vision was his biggest holding. We've got Loom, $400,000 worth of Loom. Loom is the gaming token. Yep. We've got Power Ledger. We've got 100,000 Power Ledgers. These are quite quality tokens that Ian had taken out of his portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think absolutely he definitely had a variety of tokens, or did have a variety of tokens in the account, and I think, yeah, I mean, mostly ERC20 based, so I'm kind of curious. I know, like you said, his Evernote, there's old college emails hacked, then it led to his Gmail being hacked, then it led to his Evernote being hacked. I'm kind of curious why the private keys were stored on Evernote. I think that's an unfortunate circumstance, but yeah, it's a pretty high valued portfolio that's gone now, so it's unfortunate.
So great tokens all gone, got in the hands of the hackers. Let's talk about the mistakes that Ian made. First of all, storing your private keys on Evernote. Is that advisable?
I think storing your private keys anywhere in the cloud is not advisable by any stretch. I think was one of his biggest mistakes. I think two-factor authentication on every email account that you use is huge, but not having your crypto, especially when you have that level of monetary value, it needs to be in cold storage. It needs to be on a ledger, on a Trezor, something like that, and you need to have your backup seed recovery phrase not in the cloud, accessible to hackers.
Ian Balina is an astute investor. He's been in crypto for a while. Why was he storing his private keys on Evernote? It baffles my mind.
I can't answer that. I think it's crazy to think about, but yeah, it seems like maybe there was more of an emphasis placed on on just investing and not as much on the security of it. So it's rough.
So let's give our viewers some advice as to where they should store their private keys. Where do you recommend, or how do you recommend that people actually store their private keys?
I'm a huge fan of hardware wallets. I think Ledger is what I personally use, but Trezor, I think KeepKey, there's a couple other ones, but I think hardware wallets, whether it's Bitcoin, ERC20 tokens, Ethereum, I think those pretty much cover the bases, and then just keeping that in a safe place. If you keep that in a safety deposit, depending upon the amount of money, I think you can get pretty creative, but there's a lot different that you could do rather than keeping it online in a hot wallet and that information backed up in the cloud. You definitely don't want to do that.
So after the hack, Ian Balina posted on his Twitter, and he appealed for his crypto family to help him find the hacker. And he mentioned that he's not really after the money anymore, but he just wants the hacker to be found. Is there any chance that they can find the hacker?
There's been so many hacks that have happened in the crypto world, and I feel like it's been very, very, very few times that those hackers are ever found. So I would say I'd be doubtful that somebody would actually be able to determine who this individual or who this group of people was that hacked his account. So I would say I doubt that happens, just from seeing past experience of other hacks happening and nobody really getting caught.
Now explain this concept to me. In the blockchain, and if you click on Etherscan, you can see exactly where the tokens went. You can see them leaving Ian Balina's account, and the hacker actually even labeled it Ian_Balina hack 1, hack 2, and hack 3. You can see where all the tokens go. So how is it that you can't track the hacker?
So if they're smart enough to get into your backup email, and then they're smart enough to get into your email, and then smart enough to break into your Evernote, I think from a security perspective, they probably know what they're doing. There's a lot of different ways, I'm sure, that they can end up washing those tokens to transfer them to an exchange somewhere, to transfer them to something like Shapeshift, move that to Monero or anything like that. I'm sure there's a lot of different ways that you can track and see where those tokens are now. It doesn't prevent them from getting moved somewhere else in the future, although that individual that probably hacked it is, I would assume, smart enough to not tie himself or herself to that in the future.
Now, I read in some articles that people said he faked the hack to save on his taxes. What do you make of that allegation?
I hope that's not true. I think he came out and said that isn't the case. I don't think, even now, that doesn't affect his 2017 tax liability regardless. So I just got my email from my accountant yesterday, and that's fun. So I don't think that affects 2017, 2018. It might, but you'd hope that wouldn't be the case for somebody to do that. But yeah, there's certainly rumors and allegations about that around.
I must say, I've spoken to Ian a lot since the hack, and even before the hack, he's been a regular on our show, and I don't believe that those are the motives here. I think he really was hacked, and unfortunately, I think more than $3 or $4 million worth of tokens have been taken.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And to our viewers, let that be a lesson to all of you. Crypto means that you have to store your own tokens and your own private keys. You're responsible for your own security. It means that there's no one to phone and there's no way to track your tokens when they're gone.